Welcome back. We're very happy to be here with you. I was gone for 2 Mondays when we usually record these, so I'm happy to be back. I wish I could say that I was back with all kinds of fresh ideas and how to spruce these videos up for you, but we're going to continue doing what we're doing. We have a new camera that's a little, it looks better, but it's a little darker than it was, but we kind of have been playing with it. And we've got some new microphones today that should probably be better. So we'll see how they go, and let us know if there's any challenges you have with those. We'll probably have to buy lights for the room so it really looks nice in here, at some point. I've been promised you a long time ago that I would paint this and really make it look nice, but we haven't gotten to that yet. So we are going to continue on now with the 12th Sunday in Ordinary Time. Amy's going to read from Mark's Gospel.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. On that day, as evening drew on, Jesus said to his disciples, "Let us cross to the other side." Leaving the crowd, they took Jesus with them in the boat just as he was. And other boats were with him. A violent squall came up and waves were breaking over the boat, so that it was already filling up. Jesus was in the stern, asleep on a cushion. They woke him and said to him, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" He woke up, rebuked the wind, and said to the sea, "Quiet, be still." The wind ceased, and there was a great calm. Then he asked them, "Why are you so terrified? Do you not yet have faith?" They were filled with great awe and said to one another, "Who then is this who even the wind and sea obey?" The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
So we have this great reading, which many books have been written about, just this one alone, that even the sea obeys. Who is this that even the sea obeys? And the great line, "O you of little faith," or "You, do you not yet have faith?" And it's an important thing for us to remember. I wish that I could tell you that the older you get and the more you journey in the faith, the easier it gets for you. But what really happens is the challenges just become different and varied. And if we respond to those challenges in a way that is makes us holy, that leads us unto perfection, then we improve, we progress in the right way. But sometimes those challenges either hurt us deeply, make us angry, or present us with difficulties that we just didn't imagine. Maybe you can think at a time in your life when everything was calm, everything was just wonderful, and maybe you've even stopped in a moment like that and said, "Okay, Lord, just leave it like this. Can we bottle this?" One day very recently, I was sitting out after I cut the grass, and I was looking out at this beautiful place that's very special to me in the world. And I said, "Oh, I have everything, Lord. Thank you, thank you." And then the next time I was in the same place, I was like, okay, I don't feel like that. I'm hurting in a different way, and I have a different challenge that day. And we have those moments in our life that are just, wow, this is great. This is really a gift to me, Lord, that you have given me this moment for this reflection and for this peace. And then other moments we have that kind of desolation, as they would call it, where we recognize the challenge, we recognize that we're far, we feel far away, we feel cloudy, we feel, something is kind of in the way, and we feel an obstacle to our faith. And that would be what we're talking about now, with the storms of our life. What are the storms of your life? What is it in your life that causes you to lose peace? And the more you progress, the further you go, I think the harder it is even to put your finger sometimes on what those things are. Is it a person who's mad or upset, or is it you? Are you doing something all of this becomes very complicated, as you well know, when we're dealing with challenges in our lives, especially challenges with people, or when we're not on the same page with people, or in my challenge, one of my challenges in my life is that I don't ever feel like people really understand where I'm coming from, and I'm having, sometimes I'll fall into the problem of over-explaining things, that because no one would ever say that I talk too much, right, Amy?
Never.
But never. And they wouldn't laugh about it at parish council either. But be that as it may, sometimes we fall into that because there's this need to desire in us to perhaps to be clear or to be whatever. So whatever it is in your life that you are struggling with, or that you do struggle with, and especially those things that are recurring, that's the real challenge for us. Is recurring challenges, dealing with habitual problems or things like that, are the ones that really cause us great suffering, because many of us end up giving up. We end up saying, okay, I prayed and it didn't work, so I'm going to go do something else, or I'm going to stop thinking it's bad at all and just whatever, whether it's drinking or whether it's other kind of habitual things. We have to put those things into God's in His very capable domain, for lack of a better expression, where we say, Lord, I'm not by my own power making progress. Help me calm the storm. I'm not by my own power able to deal with this problem in my life. Help me to have faith. Help me to calm that storm. Help me to meet that challenge. And it's important for us as Christian people to constantly be open to this idea of I need to grow, that I need to grow, that I want to. But God knows we get into certain circumstances where we say, it's enough. I don't want to feel like I'm not accomplishing anything. I don't want to feel like I'm still in the same place that I was years ago. I don't want to feel like everything's been a waste because I realized some great mistake that I've been making in my life. No one wants to feel that way. But when we go to God with this and say, by your power, not mine, Lord, assist me, that's where we end up with a little bit of at least peace about it in the moment when we do that. And we end up understanding that it is not by our own power that we ever really succeed in overcoming some of those many challenges. So I say this all to you because it's things that I'm working on. I say this all to you because it's how can I be a better pastor? How can I proclaim the gospel more clearly? How can I be a better preacher? Which some days, again, you preach and you're like, oh yes, I said that very well. And other days you say, man, that was terrible. And someday, on the day when you think you're terrible, someone comes up to you and says, that was the best one you ever did. And some days when you think you're great, someone comes up to you and says, what was that? That was terrible. Are you tired? So you end up having to, at the very least, acknowledge that much of this is really beyond us. And the only real place to place this is in God's capable hands. So I think that's good enough for this week. Amy, is there anything else I'm forgetting after 2 weeks of not doing this?
No.
But take that to mind and in heart. It's a really great reading. Take these metaphor. It's something that we don't do very well, but we're very literal. And even the creative people in the United States in the 21st century are a little bit too literal. We want to know... when we watch a movie or something that really kind of gets our imagination flowing, we want to know all the answers. Where the virtue of the movie might have been that it left it open to our imagination to have our own answers. And then, of course, they come out with a sequel and ruin it for you. And that happens all the time. So be open to the greater part of your imagination, which says, don't be literal about the storms. Who is this that the wind and sea obey is an awesome thought. Even the wind and sea. But it's the wind and sea of your life that we want this to apply to. And what is that wind and sea? You do not really have to name it, but what you do have to know is that God calms the wind and the sea. Here and literally. It would be also worth it for us to say that the storm that we have in this world today, which is coming back, is war. it's not a wonderful thing, but it's little wars, people fighting on airplanes about their seats, which we've always done, but now we're doing it in a profoundly self-centered way. And it's not different from the war in Ukraine or the war in the Middle East. We're dealing with people who literally are like children saying, "Gimme," and commanding somebody else to give them something that they don't want to give, and that they may have no right to. So pray over that too, and pray against the violence in our own hearts as much as we want to pray against the violence that's happening elsewhere in the world. So keep that always in prayer, especially in these election years when these things are going to become heightened issues, that we're constantly remembering the life issues that are associated with war and all of those things that go along with violence and in our streets and in our cities and in our own hearts and minds. So have a great week. Keep the storms of life in prayer, yours and the ones of the world, and understanding that God has the power to fix them and to assist us in dealing with them and to calm them. And please keep that very close to you as we travel through this week leading up to the weekend when we proclaim these readings. We decided that the air conditioner was not going to go on during this video. We were almost right, but there it is. So have a wonderful week, and we'll be constantly improving these things. So if there's any problem with any of our videos or anything, just let us know. Thank you.